White vinegar is just for salad dressing and the occasional Easter egg. That is what most folks are told. And honestly, it is one of the most wasteful pieces of conventional wisdom floating around the modern household. I have watched people spend real money every single month on specialty cleaners, fabric softeners, weed sprays, and drain solutions products that come in plastic bottles with bold claims when a gallon jug of plain distilled white vinegar sitting on the pantry shelf would have done the job just as well or better for a fraction of the cost. I know this because I have been using it that way for years, and I have seen what actually works in a real home, through real use, not through a manufacturer's marketing pamphlet. The myth that bothers me most is the idea that you need a different product for every different problem. The cleaning industry is built on that idea. I'll be honest with you, it serves them, not you. And the second myth is that home remedies are somehow less effective. For many everyday tasks, that is simply not true. What I am going to walk you through today is 21 genuine practical uses for white vinegar that can quietly trim your household spending and simplify what you keep under the sink. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which uses are the most proven, which ones save the most money, and which one I would reach for first if I were starting over. You will also know the one use that almost everyone gets backwards, and I will get to that near the end, because it is the one that surprises people most. Before we get into it, I want to point you toward the ebook that goes alongside this channel. If you want a fuller breakdown, the kind of deeper detail this video can only touch on, open the camera app on your phone, point it at the QR code in the top right corner of the screen right now, and scan it. That QR code stays pinned up there for the entire video, so there is no need to pause. Grab it whenever you are ready and keep watching. All right, let us get into all 21. Number 1. Descaling your kettle or coffee maker. Hard water leaves mineral buildup inside kettles and coffee makers over time. That white, chalky crust you see around the heating element is limescale, and it makes your appliance work harder, heat slower, and eventually fail early. Fill your kettle halfway with equal parts white vinegar and water. Bring it to a boil, let it sit for about 20 minutes, then pour it out and rinse well. For a drip coffee maker, run that same 50-50 mixture through a full brew cycle, then run plain water through 2 more times to clear the taste. This alone extends the life of appliances that cost anywhere from $30 to over $100 to replace. I do this every couple of months, and it takes almost no effort. Number 2. A fabric softener replacement. Most commercial fabric softeners leave a waxy residue on clothing over time, and for folks with sensitive skin, that residue can be irritating. Add about half a cup of white vinegar to the rinse cycle, where you would normally pour fabric softener. It naturally softens fibers by breaking down detergent residue, leaves no scent once dry, and costs almost nothing per load. I was skeptical the first time I tried this. I expected stiff laundry that smelled like a salad. What I got was soft, clean laundry that smelled like nothing at all, which is exactly what clean laundry should smell like. A gallon of white vinegar runs around $2 or $3. Do the math against what a bottle of name-brand softener costs. Number 3. A targeted weed killer. Now, I want to be clear here. White vinegar works best on young, shallow-rooted weeds, especially in patio cracks, gravel paths, and driveway joints. It is not a substitute for managing deep-rooted perennial weeds in a garden bed. But for those stubborn little sprouts pushing up between paving stones, undiluted white vinegar applied on a warm, sunny day will burn them down fast. Some folks add a small amount of dish soap to help it stick to the leaves. Apply it directly to the weed, avoid your garden soil, and you are done. No chemicals tracked inside, no protective gear required, and a gallon of vinegar goes a very long way compared to a spray bottle of commercial weed killer. Number 4. Streak-free window and glass cleaner. Mix 1 part white vinegar with 1 part water in a spray bottle. Use a lint-free cloth or crumpled newspaper, and you will get glass that is genuinely clear. Commercial glass cleaners often contain ammonia, which works fine but is not exactly pleasant to breathe in a small bathroom or car. The vinegar solution does the same job without the fumes. The key is the ratio: too much vinegar and it takes longer to evaporate cleanly. I keep a labeled spray bottle of this under the kitchen sink at all times. Windows, mirrors, glass stovetop covers, it handles all of them. This is one of those uses that feels almost too simple until you actually do it. Number 5. Clearing a slow drain with vinegar and baking soda. I want to set expectations here. This combination will not blast through a serious clog the way a mechanical snake or a real drain cleaner will. What it does well is maintain drains that are beginning to slow, especially in bathroom sinks where hair and soap scum gradually narrow the pipe. Pour about half a cup of baking soda down the drain, follow it with half a cup of white vinegar, plug the drain for 5 minutes while it fizzes, then flush with very hot water. I do this once a month in my bathroom sinks as maintenance. It keeps things moving and means I go much longer between needing anything stronger. Number 6. Washing produce. A diluted rinse of white vinegar and water, roughly 1 part vinegar to 3 parts water, is a reasonable way to wash fruit and vegetables before eating them. It can help reduce surface bacteria and residue. I am not going to overstate this. It is not a substitute for thorough rinsing under running water, but as a soak for strawberries, grapes, or firm vegetables, it adds a useful extra step. Soak for a few minutes, then rinse well with plain water so no flavor lingers. A lot of folks I know have been doing this for years without thinking much about it. It is just a sensible habit, and it costs almost nothing to add to your routine. If you are finding this useful and want to go deeper than I can in a single video, open your camera app and point it at the QR code still sitting in the top right corner of the screen. The ebook covers the kind of fuller, more detailed picture that a video like this can only introduce. Scan it whenever you are ready. Number 7. Neutralizing odors in a room. White vinegar absorbs and neutralizes odors rather than masking them with a stronger scent. Set out a small bowl of undiluted white vinegar in a room that has a cooking smell, a musty odor, or the aftermath of something unpleasant. Leave it overnight. The vinegar smell itself fades as it dries, and it takes a good deal of the other odor with it. I have used this after cooking fish, after bringing in firewood that carried a damp smell, and after pets had accidents nearby. It is not a perfume, and I want to be clear about that. It will not leave the room smelling like flowers. It will leave the room smelling like nothing, which is the goal. Number 8. Cleaning the toilet bowl. Pour about a cup of white vinegar directly into the toilet bowl and let it sit for 30 minutes. Then scrub and flush. For stubborn mineral rings that form at the waterline, you can soak paper towels in vinegar and press them against the ring, leaving them there for a few hours. This is slower than a chemical bowl cleaner, I will admit. But it costs almost nothing. It does not produce harsh fumes in a small bathroom, and used regularly, it keeps buildup from becoming a bigger problem. In my experience, consistency matters more than the strength of the product you are using. A light cleaning every week beats a harsh scrub every few months. Number 9. Running a vinegar cycle in your dishwasher. Over time, dishwashers collect grease, soap scum, and hard water deposits that reduce how well they clean and cause them to smell stale. Place a cup of white vinegar in a dishwasher-safe bowl on the top rack and run a hot cycle with the dishwasher otherwise empty. It strips away that buildup and freshens the interior. I do this about once a month. You will notice the difference. Dishes come out cleaner, and that stale smell that sometimes greets you when you open the door in the morning goes away. Appliance repair is expensive. Basic maintenance like this is nearly free. Number 10. Cleaning a microwave. Put a microwave-safe bowl with equal parts water and white vinegar inside the microwave. Run it on high for 5 minutes. The steam loosens every splattered mess on the walls and ceiling. Then just wipe it down with a cloth. The whole job takes under 10 minutes, and you do not need any scrubbing or harsh chemicals. I used to spray commercial cleaner inside the microwave and immediately feel uneasy about what would linger near my food. The vinegar method works just as well and leaves me with no concerns about residue. This one I genuinely wish someone had told me decades ago. Number 11. Deodorizing the refrigerator. Wipe down the inside walls and shelves with a mixture of equal parts white vinegar and water. It kills odor-causing bacteria and leaves no chemical smell behind. Baking soda boxes placed inside are widely recommended for ongoing odor absorption, and they do help. But the vinegar wipe down is what I do every time I do a deeper clean. It gets into the corners, handles the shelf grooves, and removes the kind of invisible grime that causes that mystery smell when you open the door. Combine both habits, the periodic wipe down and the baking soda box, and your refrigerator will stay noticeably fresher. Number 12, brightening laundry. Add half a cup of white vinegar to the wash cycle, along with your regular detergent. It helps strip away detergent buildup that dulls colors over time and can restore a bit of brightness to whites that have gone gray or dull from repeated washings. It also helps set colors in new dark garments on the first wash, which can reduce how much they bleed in future cycles. I will be honest, it is not going to rescue a piece of clothing that has already faded heavily over years of washing. But as a preventive habit added to every load, it is one of those small things that makes a visible difference over time. Number 13, loosening rust. White vinegar's mild acidity makes it surprisingly effective at loosening surface rust on metal tools, small hardware, or bolts. Submerge the rusty item in undiluted white vinegar and leave it for several hours, overnight if the rust is significant. Then scrub with a stiff brush. For stubborn rust on larger items you cannot submerge, soak a cloth in vinegar and wrap it around the rusted area. This works well on things like old garden tools, cast iron pans, or small bolts that have seized. It will not restore badly corroded metal to new condition, but for everyday surface rust, it is a practical and affordable first step before reaching for anything more aggressive. Number 14, cleaning wood floors. I will say this carefully because I have watched folks damage their floors by using too much vinegar or using it undiluted. A solution of about half a cup of white vinegar in a gallon of warm water is a gentle, effective floor cleaner for sealed hardwood and laminate. Use a barely damp mop, not wet, barely damp, and dry the floor quickly. Do not use vinegar on unsealed or waxed wood floors, as the acidity can dull the finish over time. Check what your floor manufacturer recommends. But for sealed floors, this diluted solution removes grime without leaving the streaky residue that many commercial floor cleaners leave behind. Specificity matters here, dilution and dampness, not soaking. Number 15, deterring ants. Ants follow scent trails left by scout ants to find food. White vinegar disrupts those trails. Wipe down countertops, baseboards, and the areas near entry points with undiluted white vinegar. You may need to reapply every day or two, especially after rain, when outdoor ant activity tends to increase. It is not a poison, and it will not eliminate a large colony. But as a first line of defense and a way to break trails and discourage scouts from establishing new ones, it works reliably. I have been doing this in my kitchen for years, and it genuinely reduces how often I see them. It is simple, it is safe around food surfaces, and it costs almost nothing. Now, I mentioned earlier there is one use that almost everyone gets backwards, and here it is. We are getting close. But first, if you want the fuller picture on everything I have been covering today, open the camera app on your phone and scan that QR code up in the top right corner. The guide goes further on these topics than a single video can, and it is there whenever you need it. Number 16, soothing mild sunburn. Lightly diluted white vinegar, about 1 part vinegar to 4 parts cool water, applied gently with a soft cloth to sunburned skin, can help reduce the heat and discomfort of a mild burn. The mild acidity is thought to help calm the skin's pH. Let me be clear, this is for mild sunburn, not for blistering or severe burns, which need medical attention. And test a small area first, because some people find even diluted vinegar irritating on damaged skin. I would not call this a cure, but as a simple, immediate comfort measure for the kind of sunburn you get after an afternoon in the garden, a lot of folks find it genuinely helpful. Number 17, eliminating pet odors from fabric. If a pet has had an accident on a rug, upholstered chair, or fabric surface, blot up as much of the liquid as you can first. Then pour or spray undiluted white vinegar directly on the area, let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes, and blot again. Let it dry completely. The vinegar neutralizes the odor rather than just covering it, which matters because enzyme-based commercial cleaners and vinegar work in different ways. Commercial enzyme cleaners are worth using for deep-set stains or repeated accidents in the same spot. But for a fresh accident, plain vinegar is often enough and saves you the cost of the specialty product. Number 18, descaling a shower head. Mineral buildup in shower head nozzles reduces water pressure and leads to that uneven spraying pattern that turns a shower into a chore. Fill a plastic bag with undiluted white vinegar and secure it around the shower head with a rubber band so the nozzles are submerged. Leave it overnight. In the morning, remove the bag and run the shower on hot for a minute. Most of the mineral deposits will have dissolved or loosened enough to brush away easily. I have done this half a dozen times over the years, and it consistently restores a shower head to near original flow without having to remove it or spend money on a replacement. It is one of those fixes that takes almost no effort for a very satisfying result. Number 19. Removing adhesive residue. Price stickers, tape, labels, they all leave that sticky, gummy residue that attracts dirt and is genuinely annoying to remove. Soak a cloth or cotton ball in undiluted white vinegar and hold it against the residue for a minute or two, then rub gently. The acidity breaks down the adhesive without scratching most surfaces. Works well on glass jars, plastic containers, metal surfaces, and finished wood. It does not work as fast as rubbing alcohol or Goo Gone, but it is something most people already have in the house. It is safe on food contact surfaces, and it does not smell like a solvent. For everyday label removal, it handles the job without any fuss. Number 20. Sanitizing cutting boards. Wooden cutting boards especially can harbor bacteria in the small cuts and grooves left by knife work over time. After washing your board with soap and water, wipe it down with undiluted white vinegar and let it sit for a few minutes before rinsing. This is a practical maintenance step rather than a substitute for proper sanitation, and cutting boards with deep grooves or cracks should be replaced regardless. But as a regular after-wash step, it is a reasonable way to keep a board in good condition and add one more level of cleanliness. I do this with my wooden boards after any significant use with raw proteins. It is a habit that takes 10 seconds and gives me confidence in my kitchen. And number 21, the one I promised you, the one almost everyone gets backwards. Folks are often told to use white vinegar to clean everything, everywhere, all at once, and they over-apply it. They use it undiluted on surfaces that need it diluted, or they use it on materials that are genuinely damaged by acid, like natural stone countertops, marble, and travertine. Granite and marble react to vinegar's acidity and can be permanently dulled or etched. This is the backwards part. The same property that makes vinegar useful on mineral buildup in your kettle makes it harmful to acid-sensitive stone surfaces. I want you to keep white vinegar away from any natural stone in your home. That is not a caveat, it is a hard rule. Every other surface I have described today, vinegar handles it well, but know the exceptions, and you will never cause a problem. Let me bring this together. 21 real, practical uses for a product that costs $2 or $3 a gallon. Cleaning, laundry, garden, pest control, odor removal, appliance maintenance. It covers a remarkable range of everyday needs without a specialty product for each one. The way I see it, there is no money in teaching people that the simple thing works. The business model depends on convincing you that each problem needs its own expensive solution. What I have shared today is the older, plainer alternative to that. This week, pick 2 or 3 of these and try them. The coffee maker descale, the shower head soak, or the laundry rinse. Any of them will show you a result quickly. Over the coming month, work through the rest and see what actually fits your household. And before I let you go, open the camera app on your phone, point it at that QR code in the top right corner of the screen, and scan it to get the ebook. It goes into the fuller, deeper detail this video can only begin to cover, and it will give you a more complete picture of what these methods can do for your home and your budget. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these do you already use, or which one surprised you most? Leave that in the comments. I read them, and I genuinely enjoy hearing how folks are putting these things to use in their own homes. If this kind of practical, no-nonsense content is useful to you, I would appreciate you subscribing to this channel so you do not miss what is coming next. And speaking of what is next, I have a video coming up on 20 uses for baking soda that pair naturally with everything we talked about today. You will not want to miss it. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one.